G'day again everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Today it's a very special vlog. We're going over the results of the Aussie Millions 2020 challenge. We're going to recover how much I won or lost over the challenge, the volume I played, my quality of play overall through the month of January in my opinion, and also we are going to cover in depth that downswing that I talked about in my previous vlog, and then go over some of the hand histories I found very interesting from the past month. So let's get right into it. Okay, so let's hop into the thing everyone has been hitting me up about, asking in the comments, how much did you make over the month of January during the challenge? Well, at the end of my last vlog, you guys saw when I wrapped up the 150 hours, and I said I was going to take a bit of a break after that. Didn't quite stick to that. I went into the casino the next 2 days and ended up racking up 161 hours through the month of January. So obviously super stoked. I smashed my volume goal. In terms of actual profit, I made $1,901 over the month of January, which obviously is a number I am extremely disappointed with. Obviously that hourly rate is abysmal. I definitely would have made more money if I had a job working at McDonald's during the month of January for that many hours. So yes, those results are super low. I'm very disappointed. I talked about in my previous vlog the downswing I had where I went into the casino 7 days straight, lost every single day. I ended up losing about $3,000 over that period. So obviously that took a massive chunk out of my profits that were actually pretty good up until that point. But obviously that took out a massive chunk, and it's just, I'll be honest with you guys, it's pretty disheartening to have such a low hourly rate when you poured so much time into the game in a time when the games are better than they're going to be for the rest of the year. Like, games are not that good in Melbourne usually, and obviously did have a bit of bad luck during the month of January in some of the hands we'll get to later. But in terms of my actual results, that's what they are, and no, I'm not happy with them. I do want to say though, part of the reason the number is so low is, and I know everyone complains about this, but I did run awful during the month of January. I mean that objectively, because I remember 2 instances during that week where I had the big downswing where I got pocket kings all in pre-flop against pocket aces. I think the smallest one of those pots was like 1.7k. The biggest one was like 2.2k. So obviously running pretty bad to get against aces in that spot. And then obviously this is the bad beat story of the month for me. A tight aggressive player opens the cutoff to 20. I'm on the button with pocket kings. Pocket kings not my best hand this month. Anyway, I go ahead and 3-bet it to 70. The action gets back to the cutoff, he calls. Then the flop is king 9-7 with 2 hearts. They check it to me. I bet 45, he calls. The turn is the 6 of clubs, he checks. I go ahead and bet 100. He rips it all in for about 350. Obviously snap calling with my kings here. Then he shows pocket sixes, so he turned the set. The river was a 6. So obviously in these spots where you get all the money in with the second nuts and you lose to the nuts, there's nothing you can really do in those spots. It is running bad, and it's unfortunate that it happened during the Aussie Millions when the games are so good, but I can't sit around and just complain about that, because I did make some mistakes too, like in this next hand we're about to go over. So in this nightmare of a hand, it already starts off bad. I missed my big blind and small blind because I was in the toilet or whatever. So I end up posting the cutoff for $5. Then the action gets to a tight aggressive low jack. He raises it up to 25. And the action's on me in my posted cutoff with king 2 of diamonds. You do want to be calling when you post in the cutoff in particular pretty wide, because you're getting a better price to C-flop and you're going to have position on the pre-flop raiser. King 2 suited, a bit too loose, probably should just be folding it. Regardless, I make the mistake, I call. We end up going 4 ways to a flop, and the flop is 9-8-2 with 2 spades and 1 diamond. And the action gets to the pre-flop aggressor, and he goes ahead and bets 50. Then the action's on me. It's a pretty easy fold here with my bottom pair. Even though I do have a backdoor flush draw, it's just a bit too loose to be calling with this hand. I think the opponent's betting a strong range of hands, particularly betting into so many people. He's already a tight, aggressive player who's there to win anyway, so I don't think he's bluffing that often. It's going to be hard to get him off a strong hand if I do want to bluff, so I'm essentially calling to try and make two pair or a flush draw on the turn, which is fine, but probably a more prudent spot to just fold my hand here. I make the mistake again, call, the other two people fold, then we heads up to a turn. The turn is the 3 diamonds, so we do make our flush draw as well as our pair. The opponent bets again, he goes ahead and bets 80, and I rip it all in for about 400, and then he snap calls with pocket 8s. We don't get there on the river, and I think that was probably the biggest example of the month of how I let like running bad sort of tilt me, and I ended up spewing off a buy-in. I don't think I would advise anyone out there, if they were playing to win poker, to play the king 2 suited in that particular way. I think even shoving the turn's really bad, actually, because like I said, I think he's betting a tight range. I'm not going to be able to bluff him off, so maybe I should just call on the turn to try and realise my equity on the river. But yeah, I just played that hand absolutely awful, and I can't, sit here and whinge about running bad. Even though I did run bad, but I can't blame all of it, or the low result, I can't blame all of that on just running bad when I was playing hands as egregiously as I played the king 2 suited hand. So that might give you a bit of a teaser in terms of how I played during the month of January, but fortunately we can go further in depth because I took notes after every single session I played. I ended up playing 29 sessions, and I gave myself a letter grade after every single one, so we can go further in depth to it now. I gave myself an F grade one time. I'll talk about that session a bit. Look, I was just doing dumb stuff. I was like over limping, I was raising too many hands. I only ended up staying about an hour before I realised how tilted out of my mind I was. But yeah, I had to give myself an F for that session because I was playing awful. I didn't give myself any E's, 0 E's. I gave myself a D grade one time, a D plus 2 times. I gave myself a C grade 4 times, which I'm pretty disappointed that number's so high. Then I gave myself a C plus once. I gave myself a B 7 times. That's actually the most common out of all the grades, was a B 7 times, 5 times for B plus, 6 times for A. Disappointed that number isn't higher, particularly since it's smaller than the B grade poker, is what it is. A, I gave myself 6 times, and then I gave myself an A plus twice. That's way too low in my opinion. I would like to have, like an A plus 7 times and an A 6 times. Unfortunately, these things don't happen. And, I was sort of complaining about running bad, but as you can see, I wasn't on my A game for a lot of January. And I made notes of why I think I didn't give myself a high grade. I think I was too aggressive in some spots, playing too many hands like the king 2, that was a big one. Also, just not focusing at the table, really trying to figure out what my opponents are doing wrong, get distracted by like being on my phone or having a conversation with someone at the table, which I think is good, to conversate with people at the table. I think that's a good thing, but it's also important to focus as well as do that. But yeah, just being on my phone during session, that's always bad. I hate when I see other people doing it. I hate when I do it myself. Us young millennials, whatever, we're always stuck on our phones, just texting, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. And I think that did cost me a higher letter grade in a lot of these spots. So moving forward, playing poker, I'm going to have to try and fix those mistakes. And hopefully next time there's an Aussie Millions, we can get lots of A grade poker, lots of A plus poker, and less like B's and C's. But overall, I'm going to give myself a B for my gameplay grade over the month of January. Obviously, that was the most common grade I gave myself, but I also feel like when you even everything out, I probably landed up in a B spot, which I am disappointed that I couldn't give myself an A, particularly during January when the games are so good. But like I said previously, I do have a lot of stuff I can work on to improve to try and get to that A grade level. Last thing I want to cover before wrapping up the Aussie Millions 2020 challenge for good is what's next for the vlog. I've got a lot of new followers who have subscribed to the channel through the month of January, probably as a result of the Aussie Millions 2020 challenge, and I want to keep putting out videos for all those new people that have come in, or my previous subscribers. So the good news is I'm going to keep putting out vlogs. The other good news is I'm looking forward to putting more resources towards better editing software, better filming techniques, and trying to make these things more aesthetically pleasing for everyone out there. The only downside to that is I'll probably slide a bit on the consistency of how often I put them out, but not too much, so don't worry about it too much. Hopefully we get some really, really good looking vlogs out to you guys, even if they're not as regular as they have been the past few months. So we all have that to look forward to moving forward with the vlog. But for now, that's going to wrap up the Aussie Millions 2020 challenge. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much for watching my videos, sending me words of encouragement, however you do it, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. I really do appreciate all of the love everyone sends me. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. Thank you guys. For now, I'm out of here. Peace.